We're joined from Beirut by Brigadier General Saeed Al-Qazah, military expert. Mr. Saeed, welcome to Qnews. Thank you so much for joining us. So Israel has been intensifying its airstrikes on the southern suburbs of Beirut, alongside the evacuation orders to all residents there. How do you interpret this increase in the attacks from a military perspective?
مساء الخير سيداتي، مساء الخير للمشاهدين.
In fact, what the Israeli occupation forces are doing right now is a perpetuation of the open-ended war that started in October. In fact, one day the magnitude of the war is quiet, the other day is quite intense. We find that it's quite intense. In fact, there has been a condensation of airstrikes over the suburbs because the Israeli occupation forces want to target financial and military centers of Hezbollah, and so they bomb any economic institutions related to Hezbollah, and at the same time, the Israeli forces want to magnify the amplitude of the damage imposed on the ambience that is incumbent to Hezbollah, because in fact there is a lot of issues and discords between the Lebanese nationals in these areas, and in fact the party that led Lebanon into this war, Iran, definitely is what we're talking about here. This is the party that got Lebanon into this war. In fact, the reconstruction costs are going to border on $10 billion, and I'm pretty sure that Iran is not going to incur these expenses, nor the Arab countries. We know, in fact, the discord between Hezbollah and the Arab states, and for that matter, Israel wants to exploit this position by targeting all commercial and economic institutions related to Hezbollah. And we can say as well that Israel is targeting infrastructure utilized for ammunition storage as ammunition reservoirs in the suburb Dahiya.
Yeah, so sir, on the other hand, we're also witnessing distinctive operations from Hezbollah, especially its recent targeting of the headquarters of the Israeli Defense Ministry. And from here, I would like to ask you, how do you assess the military capabilities of Hezbollah?
It's only natural, in fact, for Hezbollah to fight back. And Hezbollah has created a lot of harm, in fact, whether on the or it was only natural for Israel to actually target ammunition reservoirs of Hezbollah. And as well, we have seen how Israel has raided some of the border areas between Lebanon and Palestine that were used as well as ammunition reservoirs. But in fact, Hezbollah has, missile capacities and other military capacities that can help them perpetuate and extend the scope of this war and keep on combating. And with regards to field combating, Hezbollah has some elements, some defense elements that have been operating ever since the year 2006. And the battles in the south, like for instance, yesterday in one village, around 6 Israeli soldiers were killed because Hezbollah
But sir,
bombed
in
a
light
house.
of the military developments we've been witnessing from both sides, how can they impact the ongoing diplomatic efforts by the United States to reach a ceasefire between Hezbollah and Israel?
In fact, the potential Bushtan visit to Lebanon is projected to carry some good news, but in my personal calibration, I think it is going to be completely in vain. I believe that with the coming of a new administration, we might see some new change, positive change happening, or maybe we'll find something that is starting to cook in the Oval Office. And in fact, Hezbollah and even its adversaries will never accept Israeli forces to move freely in Lebanese lands after a ceasefire is issued. This is completely rejected by the Lebanese and I would say even their adversaries of Lebanon to just give the freedom for the Israeli forces to move in Lebanese lands. And so there was an initiative that has been ratified in order to reach a ceasefire when President-elect Donald Trump, in fact, finally comes to office in January.
That was military expert Brigadier General Saeed Al-Qazah. Thank you so much for your insights and for all the information you provided us.